And on this side, we are reopening that debate. What exactly was Rajnath Singh talking about? Sunil Alagh, Kamal Farooqi, Madhukar Jaitley of the Samajwadi Party, Subramaniam Swamy, Salman Soz. So, Subramaniam Swamy, what was Rajnath Singh talking about when he said, to the Muslim community that if there has been any mistake, I assure you we will apologize to you by bowing our heads. So, let me ask you directly, has there been any mistake or shortcoming by the BJP in the past?
Well, that he was asking the Muslim community to point out whether there's been any mistake, which he thinks is a mistake.
You don't think so? You don't think so?
General statement. It was
one minute.
It was an if-then statement.
No, 1 second. Was the Gujarat riots a mistake?
If-then statements are made all the time.
Was the Gujarat riots a mistake?
How can he say it's a mistake? Nobody can say it's a mistake.
Was the Babri Masjid demolition a mistake?
Yeah, when the court has cleared
was the Babri Masjid demolition a mistake?
Well,
was it or was it not?
It's a mistake. Babri Masjids can be demolished at any time. They are not religious places.
Well, I'm appalled you're saying. No, 1 second.
All the time.
1 minute. See, this is the problem. There are two sides of the BJP. There is this side that Rajnath Singh wants to present, then there's the side of Subramaniam Swamy. I'd like to get in Kamal Farooqi on the first two responses we saw of Subramaniam Swamy. I asked him the question. He says we're not talking of 2002. He doesn't accept a mistake.
Yeah, Arnab, you please understand that absolutely the language you must understand. He has said, Rajnath Singh ji has said, Agar hui hogi. This is what actually he has said. You can repeat it again.
Right.
Agar hui hogi. Yeah. That means unko abhi tak ye pata nahi hai ki galati hui hai nahi hai. So why we are talking about Maafi at all? The other thing is, I was on the other channel, Mr. Captain Abhimanyu said that he has not apologized at all. Then Shiv Sena said, kya galati hui hai? Kyun maafi mangenge? So where is the question of maafi? Number one, if you go really into the genesis of Mr. Rajnath Singh, if he is really feeling sorry about it, I salute him. That at least there is somebody who is saying that galati hui hogi. But in the same way, I am asking another question. Agar ye galati hui hogi, so what you say about Assam statement, Mr. Modi has made just 2 days before. He is talking about the infiltrators, Hindus and Muslims. While for Hindus he is saying that they must be immediately given the respect and should be citizenship. And for the Muslims he says they are the infiltrators, they should be thrown out. Why he is making a distinction between they are the infiltrators, whether Hindus or Muslims?
Okay, Subramaniam Swamy, quick rebut. Then we are going into our first break. Subramaniam Swamy can rebut that. The question is very simple. Hundreds of people die, thousands of people die in riots. And after a statement like this, almost it appears to me, Subramaniam Swamy, that a large section of the more conservative BJP feel, oh my God, what has Rajnath Singh said? We will lose, the more fundamentalist vote bank. And it seems people like you now want to do the U-turn after what Rajnath Singh said. Your response, then we go to a break, then we resume the debate. Subramaniam Swamy.
My response is very simple. As Farooqi has correctly pointed out, he said, koi galti hui hogi to.
That's the thing. That's the problem.
It is a if-then statement.
No, you are talking
Where
like...
Where is the galti? He is not admitted. He is not...
Exactly.
He is not admitted to any galti at all. And as far as what Modi said, as far as what Modi said in the northeast, it is a fact that partition was created on
Salman Soz wants to rebut, but on the other side of the break.
Who don't want to live with
1 minute.
Who don't want to live in India?
If you are not
given a separate land.
If you are not worried,
some Muslim comes from Bangladesh, he has to be sent back.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm very sorry to say that today you are saying as a BJP representative, we do not have any regret for 2002. We do not have any regret for Babri Masjid demolition. You justify the demolition of the Babri Masjid.
Absolutely.
Congress wants to respond. I'll take a break. I'm back in 5 minutes on this debate. If you're apologizing, we'll ask you what you're apologizing for. The BJP says that when Rajnath Singh said that if there had been any mistake, and he said this to the Muslim community, if there has been any mistake in the past, I assure you I will apologize to you by bowing my head. The BJP says that Rajnath Singh was not talking about Gujarat. He was not talking about the Babri Masjid demolition. I saw Salman Soz of the Congress raise his hand for an intervention there. Think about it, Salman. How wonderful it would have been had Rahul Gandhi not flatly refused to apologize for 1984. You might even have been able to take on Subramaniam Swamy tonight. But now you can't even do that. You can't even do that because every time you try, that's the question that will be thrown back at you. Yeah.
Arnab, let me just, I have one intervention to make because
you want to answer my question. No,
I just wanted to. I'm going to answer your question directly, Arnab. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Please listen to me because let me address both things. One, the Prime Minister of this country, the Congress President, have apologized for whatever happened in 1984. It was a horrible, horrible
Not
time
Rahul
for
Gandhi.
this country. Brother killed brother. It was horrible. Rahul Gandhi, we all Congress party entirely, for whatever happens, we have already apologized. We feel.
Are you apologizing on Rahul Gandhi's behalf?
To the real question, I'm apologizing basically for whatever happened at that time. Whatever happened at that time was a horrible time. But let me get to this particular point because I have to get to another channel. Please let me speak. Mr. Rajnath Singh said something where he said, if we have made any mistake, if we have made any mistake, we will then see. Ayodhya didn't happen. Gujarat did not happen. Fake encounters did not happen. Muzaffarnagar did not happen. Kishtwar did not happen. Nothing happened. They will consider it. They are all about dividing this country.
Yeah.
Mr. Modi, no, please let me finish because I have to go after this.
No, 1 second,
Mr.
please,
Modi goes to Assam and has the cheek. No, let me finish. No, please, because I have to go. Please,
don't get so worked up. I just only asked you a question on 84.
I want to tell Mr. Swami, I want to tell Mr. Modi that I'm a Muslim. I'm going to live in this country with full rights, equal rights, no more, no less. And I'm proud to be a citizen of this country. And these people cannot take anything away from us. And Mr. Modi goes to Assam, he is shameless. He says that Hindus should be welcome, and what about the other people? We should have a policy. Either we welcome all people who are suffering, or we say no, we will not accept anyone.
Rahul Gandhi was in Assam today, did he take him on?
They will not
Rahul Gandhi was in Assam today and yesterday, did he take him on? Did Rahul Gandhi take Modi on that comment, or you're doing that also on his behalf?
I'm telling you.
Why did Rahul Gandhi not take Modi on then?
What, Mr.
Did Rahul Gandhi take Modi on for his comment in Assam?
The Congress Party, that what Mr. Modi said is shameful. He should be ashamed. And I want to tell Mr. Swami, I don't know what has happened to Mr. Swami. I have known him for a long, long time. I don't know what has happened to him. He's turned completely, upside down. But this country will be united. Hindus, Muslims, Sikhs, and Christians, and Jains, and Bauds will
Swami, respond, please.
Together with mutual respect.
Subramaniam Swami,
and
respond.
These people will not be able to divide us, and we'll take them.
Subramaniam Swami, respond. And by the way, Sonia Gandhi did not apologize for Operation Blue Star. She only expressed her anguish. It was at the most veiled apology. You know that, and I know that. So don't make it up. Subramaniam Swami is responding now.
The Prime Minister of this country.
Sonia Gandhi did not apologize for 1984. Sonia Gandhi did not apologize for 1984. Sonia Gandhi did not apologize for 1984.
Shameless people, shameless people.
Well, fine, Subramaniam Swami will respond. Well, fine, Subramaniam Swami. Okay, fine, Subramaniam Swami, respond. You've been described as shameless out there by the Congress spokesperson. Yes, go ahead.
Well, I will not ask him to apologize for that comment.
Laugh, Mr. Swami.
That is for you to ask him.
Please laugh at the killing that happens in this country because of your politics. You can laugh as much as you want, Mr. Swami, but you know it inside your heart. First of all, you were not once like this.
First of all,
you were not once like this, Mr. Swami. I know it. I know you.
All right. First of all, there's no need for any apology because there's nothing that any fault has been found with anyone. You rest your case. No. I also rest my case. As far as this Bangladesh comment that you are referring to, the partition Pakistan was created on the principle that Muslims who can't live with Hindus, they should get a separate country. Now, having got a separate country, if they come back to our country, they have to be evicted
Stop living in 1947. Come to 2014.
No. You can't just come into this country illegally.
You're hate mongers. You're hate mongers. I'm sorry, you're hate mongers.
You can say anything you like, but I am how to protect my country. I can't allow infiltrators into this country, you see. If you want to come by the legal process,
it is not just your country, it is my country too.
We will not object.
It is my country too.
It
is not just your country. This is not a Hindu nation, this is India.
Yeah, but you...
This is India, not a Hindu nation. I'm sorry.
I am not saying... Well, it's not a question of whether it is a Hindu nation or not. No. I am saying that...
Yes, go on.
I am saying that Hindus are picked... Hindus... I think you should moderate this chap. You see, he should not keep on interrupting. I never interrupted him. I am saying this, that when it comes to the question of Muslims coming from Bangladesh illegally,
the
law requires them to be evicted.
One minute, you're dodging the question. You're dodging the question, Subramaniam Swamy. I think you are. 1 minute, Salman Sos. Do you think Madhukar Jetli, do you feel that Subramaniam Swamy is avoiding the question? Do you feel is avoiding the question Salman Sos put there? Because many Muslim organizations are actually asking for Rajnath Singh to clarify what context he was talking about. Madhukar Jetli, do you think Subramaniam Swamy is explaining it well enough or dodging?
See, the point which Mr. Rajnath Singh has made today, he has actually very shamelessly shed crocodile tears for whatever hypocrisy that he is trying to project today, for the guilt. I mean, there are several apologies that they have to make. Forget about the traditional questions that you've been asking all the parties in the past and the answers that they've been giving to defend themselves. My question to the BJP president is, with reference to Gujarat, that the center stage relationship, under the central stage relationships, only one state in the country, Gujarat, did not allow the under matriculation students to get scholarships which were given to the entire states of the country, and only the minority groups in the five religious minorities which were denied to be given the scholarships in the state of Gujarat. Will the BJP president apologize to those minority students whose rights were denied by the state government of Gujarat? And secondly, when the High Court of Gujarat intervened in the matter and gave that they should be given the permission to be given all the aid and all the scholarships, the government of Gujarat shamelessly went against that order and approached the Supreme Court, which denied to stay the order of the High Court, and then those people were given the permission to obtain the scholarships.
No, 1 minute. Sunil Alag, chink in Modi's armor. Chink in Modi's armor.
Yeah.
Do you genuinely believe, because you are part of the Modi camp, you're a Modi fan, a Modi supporter, do you believe that Subramaniam Swamy is completely wrong when he tries to restrain or correct what Rajnath Singh meant? It seems that the hardliners within the BJP have jumped on Rajnath Singh for speaking out of turn by saying to the Muslim community, if we made mistakes in the past, we will apologize.
Look, Arnab, as far as I'm concerned, I'm a little appalled at what has been going on in this debate. I am not part of any political party. All I want to say is, Salman Sos said, let's think of 2014 and not 1947. I think this 2002 and the 2006, and I can go back to 92 when the Congress government in Bombay had the worst riot, because I was part of it.
It's not riot versus riot. What was Rajnath Singh talking about? What was Rajnath Singh talking about in your view?
Arnab, 1 second. Arnab, 1 second. Arnab, I am turning around and saying the younger generation, if Rajnath Singh has said, if we made a mistake, move on. Why are we carrying on and thrashing out a thing? And Modi is being attacked. I will tell you.
It doesn't matter what Rajnath Singh said. It doesn't matter what Rajnath Singh said. Rajnath Singh, Sunil Alag is not in talking. Rajnath Singh is not talking in abstract terms. No, Rajnath is not talking in abstract terms.
Oh man, I mean, I've been... No, 1 second, Arnab. I want to make a point. Vajpayee has apologized for Babri Masjid. You want to bring it up again? Break the country up. It's about time that we moved on. Why are we carrying on? There is not 1 second. There is not a single 1 second.
No, 1 second.
Arnab, 1 second. I will speak for 60 seconds. No,
did anybody prompt Rajnath Singh?
Arnab, I am not...
Did anybody prompt Rajnath Singh telling you must
I will say that. I will say that. 1 second. 1 second. Arnab, if you go to Gujarat, please ask everybody who should go to Gujarat. The Muslims are by and large very happy in Gujarat. Everyone who's attacking Gujarat are either outside Gujarat or outside India. One second. Arnab, I don't want you to interrupt me.
No, but you are not addressing the subject.
I'm not going against the subject.
You are not addressing the subject.
One second. Rajnath Singh has not said this of his own. It is a stand that BJP wants to say. We are not against Muslims. We want to move forward. Will you listen as a country, or do you want to carry on debating this forever? That's all I'm saying. When are you going to stop debating?
Madhukar Jaitley is responding to Madhukar Jaitley.
Do you want to carry on?
Mr. Jaitley of the Samajwadi Party wants to respond to you.
It's about time that we stopped.
No, this is not that argument.
Okay, one last line.
1 second.
Deprive the Muslims of all their rights.
No, before anyone.
That what was the need for the BJP government?
If you all carry on talking, where have we deprived anybody? Where have we deprived? Have you gone to Gujarat? Where are you staying? Have you gone to Gujarat? Come with me and prove it to me. Then I will listen to you. You're standing outside Gujarat and saying whatever you like. What rights have been taken away? Enough of all you politicians. Stop. The younger generation of Muslims, Hindus want to move forward. Stop it. Stop it. Please stop it and let the nation move forward. That's all I'm saying. Stop it and let the nation move forward. It's about time all you politicians stop. The younger generation does not want you the way you are.
Madhukar Jaitley, do you feel Salman Khurshid was right? 1 second. Madhukar Jaitley, 1 minute. By the way,
when the voters come.
Now, gentlemen, please. By the way,
you will find out when the voters come.
Sunil Alagh, 1 minute.
The younger generation will make you
1
pay.
minute.
That's all.
No, you see, I'll tell you one.
Younger generation will make you pay.
I'll tell you two things. So, by the way, just calm down for a minute. Just 1 minute, calm down, Sunil Alagh. Now, you know what? The Prime Minister, we have a Prime Minister, Manmohan Singh. Manmohan Singh says, look here, I got elected. Obviously, the country did not care about scams. So that the Prime Minister is wrong. So if you think tomorrow there is a verdict, the verdict goes in your favor. And if you do you think you'll turn around and say, look here, if we win an election, it means people don't care about communal violence. So that's wrong. That argument doesn't hold for anyone. Now my question is, by the way, Rajnath Singh is not a child. He was not prompted. He was not. It was not on a teleprompter. Mr. Rajnath Singh said this. He said this on his own volition, and everybody is now seemingly a little embarrassed. No, 1 second. He's a BJP president. Now the question is...
They're not embarrassed.
No, 1 minute. Others are embarrassed. Subramaniam Swamy is embarrassed.
An apology, accept it, and move forward. And move forward, Arnab.
That's all right.
The nation wants you to move forward. Why do you want to dissect an apology?
Yeah, I'll tell you what.
That's the only point I'm making. The younger generation wants you to move forward.
The younger generation has not said that communal violence
Whether it's Hindus, Muslims, how does it make a difference?
One question I wrap up.
No, it's not okay.
Madhukar Jaitley.
It's okay. If you are going, then I want to go back.
Listen.
No, 1 second. Arnab, I go back to my mother came in 1947. She was tortured when she was in the partition. Do I go back to then? Or do I move forward?
Then tell Rajnath Singh. Rajnath Singh made a comment.
The younger generation want Hindus and Muslims all together.
One question.
All together.
Madhukar Jaitley of the Samajwadi Party.
Where?
Yes, Dr. Swamy. Yes, Mr. Swamy.
I want to ask if Salman is still here.
No, he's gone.
5 lakh Kashmiri Pandits were driven out by his government from Kashmir.
Yeah.
Why doesn't he apologize for that?
That's all right. You don't apology versus apology, riot versus riot, bad tactics, Mr. Swamy. My question to Madhukar Jaitley is, Mr. Jaitley,
I'm not saying that. Arnab, let's
Mr.
move
Jaitley,
forward, yaar.
Mr. Jaitley, please,
Mr. Jaitley.
Mr. Jaitley. And by the way, to all our viewers, our big expose on the UP appointment scam is coming up in 3 minutes. But I must ask Mr. Jaitley. Mr. Jaitley, you agree today with Salman Khurshid when he said that he used the word impotent in describing Narendra Modi's response to the riots. 1 minute.
Arnab, I cannot speak on behalf of some other.
No, do you feel he was correct?
Political gentleman who has spoken about.
Do you feel he was correct?
I cannot subscribe to that. If I use any wrong word, I am responsible for who.
What is words? Do you think as a point that Salman Khurshid made, he was correct in the way he, not the words he used, but the issue he raised?
You see, the point that he made was that probably the governance model that was that was displayed during that period was not correct.
Yeah. So
that was not up to the mark.
With this beautiful record, you know, terrible rather, of 80 incidents of communal violence in 2013 in Uttar Pradesh, 107 incidents since Akhilesh became Chief Minister. Do you think similar phrase should be used to describe Akhilesh Yadav government?
No, you see, you are again. I knew that this question which you asked is going to relate to the Uttar Pradesh story also.
Of course, because there's
the fact
obvious link
that you cannot compare both the situations similarly.
Shocking.
Because in Gujarat, out of the 24 states, 24 cities, 17 cities were under riot. 17.
Well, you know. Don't explain this to me.
In our case,
don't explain
only
this
the
to
riot
me.
took place in Muzaffarnagar.
Explain it to yourself. Explain it to yourself.
Then it was stopped.
Explain it to yourself, because as per a report sent by the center to the center by your government, 48 people died, 15,000 people were displaced, 42,000 people were affected by the violence, 62 villages in 4 districts were badly hit.
How quickly did we try to bring them back to their
children died.
To their home?
Children died.
No, but how quickly were we able to restore them back all the normality that they were living, and they were provided all kinds of facilities by the state government? Can you bring any state government, state record in any country, any part of the country?
There is something. I have great regard for both gentlemen here, Madhukar Jaitley and you know, Sunil Alagh. But one thing which binds both these gentlemen tonight is that when I put the facts out in 2 different cases, both of them respond with rhetoric. That's the point tonight. Sunil Alagh, Madhukar Jaitley and Subramaniam Swamy. Facts must be responded with facts. Nobody told Rajnath Singh to say what he did. In fact, I think we should invite Rajnath Singh to tell us what was he talking about. I am pretty sure the BJP president was not talking in abstract terms. Subramaniam Swamy, thank you as well. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us. Sunil Alagh, Subramaniam Swamy, Madhukar Jaitley on debate number 2.